Hey guys, welcome to another video by Supernal Tutorials. In this video we'll be looking at Euclidean Geometry. We're going to be focusing on circle geometry. This is our second video. So in this question we told that AB is a chord of the circle. This is AB with center O. So the circle center is O right here. And then we told that M is the midpoint of AB. So this line right here, AB, has a midpoint, which is what? Point M, right? And then we're told that MO is produced to P. That simply means that this straight line right here goes from MO to P. And then we're told that P is a point on the circle, right here. And we're also told that MO, so this length right here, MO, this is actually x. So this length right here, MO, it's actually equals to x units, right? And then we're told that AB is equals to 20 units, right? And then we told we're also given this ratio right here, PM over OM is equals to 5/2. Okay, so don't mind that for now, but I'm sure we're going to use this information as we go throughout the entire question, right? Okay, so for the first question we're told to determine the length of MB. If you check MB, it is the distance from what the circumference to the center of this line, BA, right? And then we're told that AB is 10 units. So as you can see, M is the midpoint as we're told in the statement. Therefore it means that from B to M you have actually went half the distance. So MB will therefore be 10 units, since we're told that M is midpoint of AB. Yes, so this is all for the first question. Let's move on to the second question. For our second question, we asked to give a reason why OM is perpendicular to AB. As you know from your Euclidean geometry rules, this condition is because a line drawn from the center, drawn from the center to a chord, it bisects that chord. So this means that they actually are perpendicular. So this is all for the second question. So for our third question, we asked to show that OP is equals to 3x/2. Okay, so you go back to your diagram and you check that OP, it is this length, it is the radius, right? So looking at this, you need to also consider the information that you've been given to know how best to use the information you've been given. This is something that you're gonna get good as you practice more, right? So as always try to pause the video and try the questions ahead of me and actually play it and then check if you've done it correctly. So if you consider the information we've been given, we were told that PM over OM is equals to 5/2, right? So looking at this, it's not easy to notice how you would use this, but pay attention to it. PM, right? PM it's this length. It's from right here to there. So as you can see, PM is actually a sum of the length of OP plus OM. So how you would have noticed how to actually incorporate this was the fact that within this right here you have OP and you have the X value, which is what the length of OM. So that can actually give you an idea that somehow they've related it. So changing this PM, it's going to be what? A sum of OP plus OM, right, over OM is equals to 5/3. So remember, OM is equals to X, right? So when you rearrange this, this is 2, right? So when you rearrange this, it's going to be OP plus X, multiply both sides by X, cancels out, and then this side is going to be 5x/2, right? And then you take the X to the other side, it's going to be OP is equals to 5x/2 minus X. Using your knowledge of fractions, it's going to be like this. Common denominator, it's going to be a 2, right? And then 2 into 2, that's 1. So it's 1 times 5x, it's 5x minus, right? So here you're going to put in 1. So 1 into 2, that's 2, right? Times this numerator, so that's x. So this gives us what? 3x/2. So we have actually proven that OP is equals to 3x/2. That's all for the third question. So for our fourth question, we asked to calculate the value of x. So it is always a wise decision to actually try and write down all the information you know. So from the first questions, we calculated that MP is actually 10 units. And then from the other question, we had to prove that OM is perpendicular to AB, if I'm not mistaken. So in a way, we know that this is perpendicular right here. So these ideas, you need to know that these questions are always linked to some extent. So the previous questions actually help you to answer the next question. So using the fact that this is perpendicular, we can determine that this is a right angled triangle, and then we can apply the Pythagoras theorem to actually determine x right there. So using the Pythagoras theorem, our hypotenuse side will be OB squared is equals to MO squared plus MB squared, right? On the previous question, we were asked to determine that to show that OP is equals to 3x/2. You should always ask yourself what the previous question contributes to the next question. If you notice this, right, OP is a radius, therefore OP is equals to OP, let me write this down right here. OP is equals to what? OB. Their radiuses, radii, yeah, I think that's what they call it, yeah. But now it's actually one radius, so actually it doesn't matter, yeah. So yeah, OP is equals to OB. So let's substitute in the values right there from this equation. So when we substitute in, it's going to be 3x/2 squared is equals to MO, that's going to be x squared plus 10 squared, because MB is 10 units. So this is going to give us 9x/4. So we're going to multiply through by 4. Sorry about that, this is squared. So this is going to be 400. When you multiply through by 4, it's going to be like this. So this cancels out, and then this is going to give us 4x squared plus 4 times 100, so it's going to be 400. And then we take this 4x squared to the other side, It's going to give us 400, and then this gives us 5x squared. Then we divide through by 5, so this gives us x squared is equals to 80, and then you put a square root right there. When you put a square root, you find out that the value is, let me put it in a calculator. Okay, so x is plus or minus 4 root squared. Remember, we are dealing with a unit, it's a length of something, so we cannot have a negative length, so therefore the answer is positive 4 root 5. When you convert this, it gives 8.94 units. So yeah, this is all for this question. Thank you for watching, and please share the video and make recommendations about what you'd actually, make suggestions about what you'd actually like us to explain in the next video. Thank you.